We got one of y'all talking about what could potentially be a failure of a season for Texas. Go ahead and take a listen.
Hey man, my name is Carl, and surprise, surprise, I'm calling from Texas. I want to put the entire world on notice that this year is a national championship or bust year for Texas. If they do not win the national championship, this season was a failure.
Carl, I think a lot of people in Austin are hearing you say that, or a lot of people in the college football world hearing you say that and saying a failure with a first-year starting quarterback and all that production you lost from last year, a failure, Carl? And Carl, you know what? I'm with you. I stand with Carl on this one, man. If Texas does not win a national championship, it is absolutely fair to call this season a failure. Now, before you jump on me and say this guy's just being overly dramatic in here for the takes, being too harsh on Texas, hear me very, very clearly. In 2023, Texas was coming off of a year where they had just played Washington in the Alamo Bowl, and they were entering into a season now, their last year in the Big 12. And I came on this very show and I said, if Texas does not win the Big 12 championship and still plays a New Year's Six Bowl, I don't think that year is a failure. And I got some pushback on that, and that's fine. But I tell you that story just to make sure you know this is not necessarily like my default view on things. I'm very, very slow to say title or bust, conference title or bust, whatever. But with the situation that Texas is in right now, what they've done the last couple of seasons, what Steve Sarkisian has done around Texas and elevated Texas too, I think this is a fair statement to make. Now, really quick just pause together, all of us on this show, Texas fans. Look at where you are right now. Look at the oxygen you're breathing right now in the world of college football. The fact that we can have a discussion about this and have it be a rational discussion, enjoy that, because it wasn't always this way. And this is not me telling you just be grateful for what you have. That's not my angle here. My angle is Texas now, where Steve Sarkisian has taken you to, this is where you always talked about being. This is where you felt like you deserved to be. And so like, people saying, isn't this kind of harsh? You're saying Texas needs to win the national championship or it's a failure? Not really. Man, the semifinals the last 2 years. Once in the 4 team, once in the 12 team. What's harsh about that? If you make a 3.9 as a GPA 2 semesters in a row, no, I'm not cool with a 3.7. That's a failure. Now, you can have a failure of a season, but still have it be a good season overall. Not saying you call it good for yourself, but like if Texas were to make the semis yet again, yeah, they failed their mission. It wasn't like it was a bad season, but the ultimate goal, you did come up short. You did not check that box. It was a failure relative to your expectations. So I will say, too, there's going to be a lot of people that I think, see this take or hear this segment or whatever. Let me be very clear. This is nothing to do with the Texas logo. This is everything to do with the work that Steve Sarkisian and everyone involved in Austin has put in here over the course of the last 3+ years. The culture, 180. Recruiting classes, 2 of the top 3 of those last couple of classes have been in the top 3. Or 2 of the last 3, I should say, have been in the top 3 in the recruiting rankings. Ahead of schools that have won national championships, ahead of Ohio State, ahead of Michigan. You're doing the proper work. I mean, the NIL commitment. There was that article out about how much Texas was allegedly having behind themselves when it came to their capital to recruit and add talent, and turns out that number wasn't 100% accurate. Even just being in that neighborhood speaks to the commitment from Texas when it comes to NIL. You've earned the right to talk like this, and I think that's worth unpacking together. Now, what's it going to take to actually win a national championship? I've said before, man, defense, no questions, no notes. Skill players, if Sark feels good, I feel good. Like if you're not going to the portal and adding 3+ guys on the receiver position, okay, I trust Steve Sarkisian. He knows what it looks like. He's coached Devontae Smith. I think he probably feels okay about how to handle his talent in that room. What it comes down to for me, not just Arch Manning, like first game, of course, we're going to talk about that. That'll be a high-impact game for Texas and all those things. But, like, I'm really most curious, where is Arch Manning by the month of November? Because in the month of November, you go to Georgia, and you finish your season with Texas A&M in Austin. I have to imagine those are going to be pretty high-leverage games for the Longhorns. Is he able to play like a second-year starter by that point in his first year as the guy at Texas? Because he's had some time now. We talked about it with Jake Crane on the show not that long ago. He's had some time to learn the system, get comfortable. It's his show now. It's his show, and he's had some time to rehearse for a while here. Shout out Ethan Fielder. He's rehearsed for a while here as the guy at Texas. Now when it's actually his time in November to go win and get it done and be the ultimate killer to close the deal, Can Arch Manning close the deal for Texas is where I fall on this thing. Because if he can, then you can go win a national championship. Then you can make a run in December. Because at that point, there's no weakness for Texas. You're explosive via the air with Arch Manning, solid defense. The run game, I think, is going to be still really solid again in 2025. No questions for Texas. So, yes, you have earned the right to say the statement, if we don't win a national title, it's a failure. Not that it's a bad season, but it would be a failure if you don't win the national championship in 25 based on where you've pushed expectations to. And that, I think, is a beautiful thing for everyone out there on the 40 acres.